Hello, it is Sunday the 16th of July 2023 and this is a little bit of a tipsy walk home. So I've had a pretty shit week. Friday it was raining all day and I was strimming wet goose poo down at the marina and wasn't a lot of fun, and I had to work in the rain, and that ain't really working out for me, I'm not gonna lie. Plus the mower's killing my back, and yeah, well, I think it's time to go self-employed and actually earn myself a few quid instead of someone else, you know what I mean? Let's work for ourselves, do our own thing. Let's say fuck that, right? You know, I'm not working in the rain for £24,000 a year. Just not doing it. No. I'll decide when I work in the rain. I'll decide when I have to dig out box hedging or weed flower beds in the rain, right? I'll decide. No thanks. No thanks. Anyway, on top of that, I've had toothache for 2 weeks. And I went to the dentist yesterday and I've still got fucking toothache. To the tune of £125. And I've still got toothache. They x-rayed it. I showed them what tooth it was and they were like, no, we can't see what the problem is. All the fillings look good, you know. And yeah, slightly disappointing because I can't actually have a beer at the moment without having to throw my tongue onto that side of my mouth and drink through this side of my mouth so that I don't feel pain. Not ideal. 125 quid later, although most people might say, well, that's quite a cheap dentist bill. It might well be. That is, I mean, I think it was not cheap, but it was reasonable, but they didn't do anything. So it wasn't really reasonable, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so yeah. Also, I bought a hedge trimmer because I'm starting up on my own. I'm done with it. I'm done, as I've just said. I'm fucking done with being told you've got to go and do this and you've got to go and do that, and that took too long, and great job on that and great job on this, but you know, that took too long. I'm not doing it. I'm not and I don't want to go and strim, you know, a big park. It's a fairly sizable park. I'll show you it at some point. It's called Temple. It'll be within the next couple of weeks, actually, where I have to go and trim the grass, but at the same time I have to trim goose shit. And we'll just say goose as a collective term because there's Canadian geese, there's English geese, there's all sorts of geese there. And I'm not lying, right? Their poo is like this long. It's quite substantial poo. It looks like a miniature human poo, actually. And when it gets wet and you want to trim the grass that's underneath it, there's no moving it, or like, you know, just tap it away with your foot or whatever if it's too dry. No, if you do that, you end up with goose poo on your on your boot, right? So no, it's not ideal, and it ain't for me. It ain't for me. Despite the benefits, you know, gym membership, golf club membership, you know, I'll tell you, I'll show you the video of the kitchen facilities of where I work, where we're expected to make tea. And I'm not being funny, I wouldn't even microwave a tin of, I wouldn't put a tin in the microwave, obviously, because that wouldn't be a very good idea, but I wouldn't use anything in that facility. It's just disgusting. The floor is covered in sand and dirt and shit, and the sink is riddled with probably about 150 different types of mold. I mean, it's disgusting. And the microwave, which actually looks like an oven on the countertop, well, I mean, I wouldn't want to cook an ant in there, to be honest. I wouldn't want to put the ant through it. It'd be like, no, I don't want to do that to you. Look at all the grease you're going to have to tread in and then boil in. But it's just disgusting. It's a disgusting place to work. Anyway, so yeah, I am a little bit tipsy. So I'm starting up on my own, and I've started to buy some tools. One has arrived, and took some time. It's a bloody decent hedge trimmer. Oh my god, it's got a 30-inch cut. It's got a twisty handle. It's still, yeah, second hand. But the moral of this story is, don't use Every, or Hermes as they used to be known, because they are shockingly crap. There's no customer service. You can't, if something goes wrong, you cannot speak to anyone. Just automated rubbish. That's all you can speak to. And yeah, don't use Hermes. If you're an eBayer, or if you're selling stuff online, and you know you're looking for courier services to deliver your goods, do not use Every. They're just horrendous, absolutely horrendous. And yeah, my next day delivery took 7 days to get here, all because, and I've got the label to prove it, and I might post it tomorrow. Actually, I might post it if I can remember. All because apparently it was too long. Even though he'd paid for the weight, the person I bought it from paid for the weight of the item. Yeah, like postal service, paid for the weight. They got it. It wasn't even estimated as next day. It came up as like Wednesday or Thursday. I bought it on the Sunday, and it was delivered today, so it took 7 days. But yeah, like when it got to them, they were like, no, it's too long, and the seller had to spend more money to get the item to me. And I like literally paid probably, I don't know, a third of the delivery costs. I paid like £9.70 or something like that. But like I say, It was next day, and it took 7 days to get to me. So don't use them, they're shit. They got no customer service, no decent business ethics. So yeah, just don't use them. What else? Christine Anderson. So Clown Planet today did a little video, and it was a boom video. It was a big boom video because Christine Anderson stood up in the EU and said to the Whiskey Hotel October, or Oscar, you picked this fight, and you're picking a fight with millions of people, and there are millions of us now. There are actually probably billions. At least a billion. At least a billion. Of people that have woken from the hypnosis, the trance, the whatever you want to bloody call it, the, you know, monarch mind programming, right? Because it's all about moths. Monarch is a moth, the monarch butterfly, right? Well, it's actually a butterfly, but moths do exactly the same thing. So they're born into like little caterpillars, and then they crystallize themselves, and then they turn into a moth. And it's about transformation. The transformation, which is why they use that symbology. And if you remember, when I did the video about the book that Peter was involved in, what's on the front cover of his book? A moth made out of $1. It's not a butterfly, it's definitely a moth. You can tell by the wings, right? It's all about transformation. Transforming us away from the old world, the world that we know and that we love, and putting us and rewriting history and putting us into this new world where our kids, if you have them, will forget the old world and think that it never existed because they're rewriting history. Anyway, that was a little bit of a babble, but I'm nearly home. Actually, I'm nearly home. I have about 2 minutes more walk, so I'm going to leave it there. And I hope you're all well, and I will see you in the next one, and make of this what you will.